Hello world, I am Jason Baguio and this is How You Gist. Episode 1, go! Hello and welcome again. It's if we've never left. This is Jason Baguio again, and this is How You Gist. This is a podcast where we explore one of the greatest mysteries of life and one of the greatest questions, and that is how you get your shit together. I mean, what does it really mean? I mean, exactly what does that mean for everyone? I mean, surely it's something different for each and every person. I mean, the whole reason why I made this podcast was for 3 things. Number 1, I believe that everybody has a story to tell. Number 2, no matter how you feel about yourself, no matter how much you say you're nothing special, the fact of the matter is you are. You matter. And if I'm here talking to you, you definitely matter. And you have something to say. And number 3, I love just fucking hearing stories. I love these conversations, man. I remember a year ago when, I started pondering like what it means to like really just really pondering what it means to be a success. And it doesn't have to be all at once, because that's not how life happens. Life happens how you chunk it. You know, one little piece at a time. And it's different for everyone. Shit. It's like my situation is different from your situation, is different from anyone else's other situation. But the greatest thing about life is there are similarities. There's something that we can garner from each and every one of everyone's interactions. And in this day and age, I know that, we just have a problem with connecting. No one really just, stops and looks at what someone else is doing. Because, if we really do, we'd learn something each and every day. And I guess that's the real impetus to why I started the podcast. Why it really matters to me. Why it matters to have these conversations and why it matters to just talk. And I know that we have it in us. I know that things are the way they are because we let it. And things can change and will change when we do. It's just, when are we? When are we going to stop and listen? When are we going to talk? And when are we going to make things happen? Little by little, I want the world to get its shit together. I know there are some people out there who don't like swears and stuff, but you know what? Fuck it. That's where I'm coming from. You can either get better at listening to them or stop listening. Oh man, how's that shit? I'm just doing that right in the first episode. Whatever's. Fuck it. But, man, I love fucking talking to people, bro. I love just interacting. And I love hearing stories. And I love just, you'll hear it in my voice. In the way I speak. In the way I bust my yes. And all that stuff. You'll hear it right in each and every interview. And I hope that I can get the best out of each and every person that I speak to. Because all of you out there, you deserve nothing but the best. And I'll try my damnedest to get it all to you. And the sooner I get things out, sooner I get my shit together and get these out, sooner you get to hear them. So hope you stick around, everyone. Each and every week, release 2 a week, every Mondays and Saturdays. A lot in the first week or so. I got a bunch that I've done already, and I gotta fucking release them. On our first episode, we have Jamie Lynn Lano. She is an artist, a mangaka, a comic artist, an overall wonderful, beautiful soul. She has an amazing story, and for some reason, her passion for art takes her around the world. I love the vision that she shares, and I hope you'll see it too. She worked for about, let's say, a couple of years in Japan as a manga artist, mangaka assistant to Konomi Takeshi, the creator of Prince of Tennis. And if you are familiar, around Comic-Con, you see a lot of cosplay that bears the resemblance to the costume designs that she made on the second season of Prince of Tennis. Just enjoy this conversation with Jamie Lano. All right. That's all right. The best thing I find is everybody hates when people drink and eat on the air. So
I figured I would emphasize it as much as possible.
Oh, of course,
to sound more purposeful.
Yeah, sure, you can do that. All right, Jamie. So,
Hey,
Jamie Lano.
Lano.
Sorry, see?
Not everybody does that.
Yeah. So tell me about yourself. So where are you at right now? I know you have your you have an art show coming up and stuff.
I do. Well, it's not my art show. It's just something I was invited to. It's called Maiden Craft.
Nice.
And it's 1 week, just 1 week long, opening on the 12th of June at the Honolulu Museum of Art School, right across the street from the regular museum. Anyways, it's just like an anime themed art piece exhibition type thing. I don't know. It just sounded cute, and I was like, yeah, I'll put something in. That sounds fun. I want to connect with the anime community a lot more than I've done since I got here, because I just been so tired and kind of burned out, but I really, really, really need to get back into that. I think that's what, gives me, like, purpose. So.
I like that. That sounds like it's an amazing bit of timing, because I met you the first time over at an anime meetup and stuff, right? Yeah. Just randomly, I was like, "Oh, who's that?"
And then I'm like, "Hey, you want to do this? You want to do this crazy scavenger hunt with me?"
Yeah, exactly. So then all those crazy adventures, like, what was it? 2 years ago, I think, or something like that.
2 years ago.
Yeah,
almost,
summer
from
of 2014.
August.
Yeah. So just I just want to bring it back. So what made you want to come back into anime, or what got you interested in doing the thing that you do in your art and
in
everything?
art?
Yeah.
Oh God, I my college entrance essay was it started with "I was born with a pencil in my hand" or something like
I love
that.
that.
I mean, it was really corny and it was awesome. And then the next morning, I turned it in at like 2 a.m. I sent it online, and the next morning the recruiter called me and was like, "I love your essay," and I'm like, "Who is this at 7 a.m.?" And I just went to bed. And I don't know. I mean, but it's true. I was drawing since forever. I can't remember a time when I wasn't drawing. My grandma still has like really yellowed pictures of like the house across the street that I drew when I was a little kid, and I did every tree individually. I've really been into details forever. So yeah, I liked just cartoons at first, and then graduated to anime and manga when ElfQuest, and comic books when I was in high school, and then or junior high, and then after that I graduated to anime when I was like 16.
Oh, I love it. That's awesome.
Yeah,
I like that you mentioned ElfQuest. Shout out to ElfQuest and
oh God, yeah.
And
I was just recommending that to a friend.
Really?
Morning. Yeah. To Seneca. Oh God, it was great.
He should tell him go visit the local library. It's all up in it.
Oh
so.
Yeah, we have copies here too.
Yeah.
You can always borrow. But I mean, I mean, I don't think I'd be the person I was now if I didn't have ElfQuest in my life.
Oh really?
I was super into it. I was 16, and I was kind of like, I wasn't an emo kid. I was a really cheerful kid, but I guess I had a lot of angst pent up inside of me, because that part of the story really spoke to me, and the whole fantasy elves. And so I joined all the like fan groups that were all over, and we made our own characters, and we made our own art and stories and all this stuff. And then all these like sad stories came out of me, and I was perfectly happy, but my friends were like, "Are you okay? You don't want to like commit suicide or something, right? And I'm like, no, why?
Really, through this ElfQuest group?
Just because I wrote about all this stuff, that is, I think I was just channeling that part through the writing, and then my regular self was like devoid of all these feelings I got rid of in the dump.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was really super into it, and then through that, I got into anime because my friends were like, "You must check this out. This whole like Ranma 1/2 thing."
Yeah, another one.
Yeah, and I'd been watching Sailor Moon too on TV, but I mean, it wasn't. I didn't really think of that as like an anime.
Me neither. It kind of felt a little very traditional almost in a way. I don't know. That's what I saw when I looked at it. Like,
I mean, I loved the style, the long legs, the big eyes, just the fun and like creative nature of it. But I didn't think of it as being like a Japanese thing, even though I was aware that it came from Japan.
Right, me too. Yeah,
all that. But I don't know. It just didn't. I didn't think about the whole wide world of anime that was out there. Like I didn't know about it. I mean, to be fair, it was back in the mid-90s.
Yeah, right.
So
and there wasn't much. Exposure there
wasn't as
to everybody.
much.
Yeah,
it wasn't kind of mainstream like it is now. I mean, you never would have found like manga in a bookstore. Never.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Library, no. Bookstore, no. Nowhere. Like
never.
I had to go to the comic book store, and they had it.
Yeah.
I
think the only manga I found like way back when was like maybe like just scant copies from my friend of Dragon Ball Z, like in Japanese. And all we did was just, we just watched pictures and everything. Yeah. Oh yeah, check it out. Check how this thing's going. And we're like, oh yeah, what's really happening? Oh, I don't know. I don't know. They're just fighting, and whatever. My friend came from Japan and he really didn't even he didn't even like read it. He didn't like translate or anything like that. So. And then
this is back in like the fan sub days, right?
Yeah, right, exactly. Yeah.
I guess everything now is digital. You watch online. You can watch it legit. You can pay for it or do like the Crunchyroll free thing. Like you can get almost everything for free and it's like legal and everything. But back then we didn't have that.
No. I begged, borrowed, and stealed.
So small, and you could like go on to people's like really simple web pages because remember 90s.
Oh yeah, and, GeoCities, all that.
Yeah, I had GeoCities, and you could like order copies of tapes that people had dubbed over 6 times and put
exactly.
on, like, themselves.
All I did, all I did was watch blank tapes. Like we had a local guy that was a distributor for that. Really?
I mean, distributor, quote unquote. So he would buy Laserdiscs in Japan and loan them to people who would put subtitles on them, and then he would record them for us. And then I would end up with like a 6th generation copy of Marmalade Boy or something.
Wow, what a smart dude! That is
it was
filling
so cool.
up a niche.
I mean, like he was our distributor, and he was so sweet because we never paid him for any of this.
Right.
He just dropped off tapes at the comic shop, and he picked them up and then dropped them back off, and we'd be like, "So what's in for us right now?" And he had this whole list, but most of the time we're just like, "Give us anything fun."
That is super awesome.
Yeah, and it's so weird to see, like, and 10 years later, a lot of that stuff came out on DVD.
Right.
Here, and the whole world kind of changed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely.
And it was so different when I came back from Japan too. Oh man, like I left and anime was pretty big by that point, like 2004.
Yeah.
But when I came back in 2013, I think, it was just crazy. Like everywhere, so much anime. I mean, I went into Barnes and Noble and they had a whole section of manga.
Yeah.
What the hell? Like my mind was blown. I was like, what happened here? Oh my god, I would have killed for this.
Yeah, that was pretty trippy to notice the first time when just the shelves came out of nowhere. I'm like, oh, what the hell? Like,
like, oh my god, when I was a kid and I had all this disposable income, because I had a job and I was living at home, like I could have bought so much manga, and then it's only like $10 now.
Yeah,
$10 for a book, which of course
for a tankobon.
I'm spoiled in Japan. It's like $3 or $5.
Oh, I wish that would be awesome.
Yeah, and the used bookstore, man, it's like 99 cents or whatever. It's like 100 yen, and so I'm spoiled now. I think it's expensive, but I mean, compared to the me that was spending like $19.95 for like one volume,
that's nuts. Man. Man, you know what I trip out of is like how viable like the manga, like how viable manga is in Japan. Like and just phone books, right? Of like Shonen Jump or whatever magazines they all come in and stuff like that, and just print it like nothing. Newsprint, we don't care. We just go off. Everybody reads it like nothing. The way of I guess the way they look at manga and stuff is so different.
Yeah, like you talk about the phone books.
Yeah.
They had, oh God, I mean, yeah, I'm super spoiled, or I was spoiled. I am now deprived along with everyone else over here, and it sucks really bad. Don't go to Japan, because then you will understand what you're missing, and it does. It's very harsh sometimes. So, I mean, like for $3 or $4, you can have this like phone book sized, and I'm sorry, people probably don't know what phone books are anymore.
Oh yeah, sure, why not?
But you're talking like
people imagine just big fucking,
you know,
books.
1,000 pages almost or so, like newsprint quality, like really low quality comics. But you know, coming out like Shonen Jump comes out like every week.
Yeah.
And you have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of pages. Maybe it's a little bit shorter than some because it's a weekly thing.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
You know,
I trip the hell out that they're still like they still make money, like it's weekly, and you know,
they make so much
Yeah.
freaking money. I don't know if they make money necessarily on the magazine
Yeah,
itself,
right.
because
Mhm.
they sell it really low. Like Shonen Jump is, well, it was 290 yen when I was there.
Yeah.
So I mean, you're talking less than $3.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. And then there's like 600 other ones that come out every week. I mean, you're talking huge amounts. They have whole sections in convenience stores just to buy the stuff.
Yeah.
You know, and people just leave them all over because they're so common.
Right.
You know, people leave them on the. If you don't want to buy Shonen Jump, just get on a train, and you will find a copy.
You'll find one.
Eventually.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it'll be up on the racks above the seats. Like people just read it and then leave it because I mean, you don't want it anymore.
I just trip out.
afterwards.
Like
Yeah.
I wouldn't leave like a, you know, I'm from the bag and board society, so you know,
Oh, I, was
I would
back
never
then, yeah, I
leave my
remember.
shit like that.
Oh my
You
god,
know?
the poly bags with
Right.
the acid-free boards, protecting your comic books. Eventually, see, I came back from Japan and I sold them all because I didn't care anymore.
Right.
I'd been without them all through college and then all through Japan when I couldn't really get comics anymore. And now it's digital, and I prefer like collected volumes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, I
prefer
kept some
trades too
around
now.
because there aren't trades.
Yeah.
For a lot of the stuff I liked
Right.
back then, but the stuff that is, I was like, here you go. You know, give me some money.
That's
I'd
that's
rather go
just
buy a trade.
there's like such an epic gap between manga and, you know, where the comic industry is right now.
Yeah.
Oh jeez, that's crazy.
Well, comics are really booming right now. I mean, compared to what it was back in the 90s.
Oh, and the like
It's the
just
movies.
and just thinking about definitely, and the creators are so excited about, you know, bringing new stories, and oh my
Yeah.
gosh, I'm just
I never would have dreamed that hit movies would come out of like comic books
yeah.
and all the comics I read, you know, as a teen, like that stuff turned into movies and TV shows and like this Netflix thing, right?
yeah.
And you know, back then all we had were made for TV movies
Yeah,
that were
exactly.
kind of cruddy.
Oh my gosh, like I remember the passed around crappy copy of Fantastic Four.
That was really crappy.
Oh my god, where Human Torch was a freaking cartoon and everything like that.
Did you ever see the Generation X one, like
Oh,
the
no.
TV movie? It was
Yeah, I think I.
It
No,
was
I didn't.
hilariously, cutely terrible. Like I loved it because I was such a big fan. But I
Mhm.
mean, looking back on it, I
Yeah.
tried to rewatch it after
Right.
I came back, and I was like, "What happened? What were my standards back then? I mean, they were super low.
Oh, they were so low. I
Yeah.
mean, like, I'm so glad that I live in a time where a comic book movie comes out and like my stomach doesn't like get nervous for it, or I'm like, oh my god, this is
Mine
gonna be
does.
shitty.
They screwed it
I'm fine. I'm
up.
like, oh, it's gonna be all right. I give it. I'm
Did
fine.
you see
with
the
it.
new X-Men movie?
No, I didn't.
Oh my
No.
god, it was amazing. Like
shit.
I'm kind of lukewarm on the X-Men movies. I
yeah.
watched my main exposure was watching the 90s cartoon.
Right,
of
definitely,
Course, you know,
yeah.
The
Mhm.
occasional issue, and then Generation X too, which had Jubilee in it.
Mhm,
She was
yeah.
in the new movie, and
Yeah.
like I don't know, the movies are meh, but I really liked this new one.
Nice. Okay, I'm good. I'm gonna
Yeah.
watch it.
It was funny, and they tried to have some heart, even though I felt like it fell a little bit flat. There wasn't much emotional reaction for
Yeah.
me, but just the comedy in this movie was
Yeah.
kind of spot on.
Nice. All
Yeah.
right. I like
Yeah.
it.
So I would recommend seeing it just for that,
Nice.
if you can ignore the rest.
Nice. I'd like to thank X-Men for being a sponsor of our show today.
Yes, thank you.
Checks in I would gladly accept a check in the mail. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I'm happy to talk it up more if we can get a little bit more dough.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
10%. You got
The
it.
day job.
All right. Let's take it back because I know you
Right.
have a great story. You mentioned when you came back from Japan. Where'd you start originally?
What do you mean? When I came
Yeah.
back?
No,
or-
from you know, you left, where you actually from and everything like that.
Okay, so I kind of grew up in Washington State, like on the eastern side where it's all desert-y.
Oh.
Nobody knows.
That's an interesting part of that state.
Yeah,
that's not what I associate. Yeah,
the Evergreen State, right? Well, it's like 2/3 desert. So on the eastern side of the state, it's a steppe, not a desert, but it's basically like hot and dry all the time. It does snow in the winter, but not that much.
Yeah.
So it was nice, you know. We lived in California for a couple of years, came back to Washington, and I guess by then we'd moved around every like 4 years or so.
Yeah, you guys
so
moved around a lot? Oh, cool.
Not a lot, but it was at really critical times for me.
Oh, okay.
So I kind of felt like I was being, you know, forcefully dragged away from my friends.
Right.
And I didn't have any control over it. And I think that's why I like controlling everything so much now.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Anyways, so ended up deciding to go to college in Arizona because my best friend went down there. And I mean, college was always a given. I was gonna go to college, but when high school got out, I went from taking AP classes to taking local classes at the community college, and it was just the level was so different from what I was used to. I mean, I went from very advanced, like, you know, calculus classes to like having to take algebra again.
What? That's nuts.
I took the placement exam and I got 100%. Right? I mean, it's a super basic exam. Get 100%, and then they put me in the highest class that they could, which was algebra 3-4.
Wow, that's
and
nuts.
I was like, really?
Fuck.
All right, fine. I love math. If this fair, I'll do it. And it was so boring that I actually dropped out, and I went from basically pretty much a straight A student to dropping out of school.
Oh man.
And I just, there was no stimulation there.
Right.
I felt lost, so I just kind of floated around on my own. I moved out of my parents' house, and I was working at the public library. Yeah. And a bookstore, and then later Toys R Us, and it just kind of like wasn't sure what to do. You know, there wasn't really money in the family to pay for me to go to school, so I didn't know what I wanted to do. But most of my friends moved away, and my best friend moved to Arizona to go to DeVry. DeVry University for Technology, and she called me up one day and was like, there is an art school right next door, literally right next door to my school, the Art Institute of Phoenix, and we were thinking of going to the Art Institute of Seattle someday. And I was like, oh yeah, okay, sure, I'll go. So I moved back in with my parents and saved up a little bit of money, and I moved down. I drove down from Washington to Arizona and ended up going to school. I made great friends, super into anime. I took over the anime club in DeVry, even though I didn't go there.
Solid. Cares.
Yeah. Oh, you know what's really funny? The ex-president that I took over from, he just moved here to Honolulu like a couple months ago.
What? Thanks, universe. Thanks for aligning shit.
It's so weird. It's like he comes back into my life, and I was like, this is some kind of weird paradox, because we have both been through so much since then. We're not even the same people. It was just really bizarre, like a Twilight Zone thing. Like I have my life separated into chapters. I'm like the Washington chapter, the California chapter, the Washington chapter part 2, and then the college chapter, the Japan chapter. You know, and then I screwed up my life after I came back from Japan chapter. That's where I'm at right now.
So what's the big thrust that got you from? So you got to Arizona to get to that.
I did. I studied animation there, and a year and a half or so into 4 years there, I was like, you know, I really don't like this animation thing. They were teaching us 3D animation, and my interests were never really there. At the time, there wasn't much out. Like Kingdom Hearts had just come out, and then Finding Nemo just came out while I was in school, and that was the first time I thought 3D animation might actually be viable, like something that could be beautiful and could be really well done instead of
and you can call it art cartoony. Instead of Yeah,
it was more. I'm a very visual person, so it was more into the realm of things that I considered acceptable for me to study, like something I wanted to study, but you know. I don't know. It kind of fizzled out too.
So what brought you to Japan then?
So I just kept studying. Like, what else is there to do at this point? I don't know what I want to do. So I'm going to stay in school. I'm going to finish my degree, and then I'm going to see from there. So the funny thing was I had a really great portfolio where I hand animated 2D animation. Nice. Kind of doing like an anime style thing. And I worked really hard on it. And like the only person in my whole class, my graduating class, that had anything like that. And I actually had people like asking me for work. But what happened was, at that point, I knew for sure I didn't want to do animation, but I still wasn't sure what to do. So I met a girl online who was teaching English in Japan. We became friends and bonded over our love of yaoi, like gay fiction, gay fan fiction, all that. So we bonded over that, and I was like, "Hey, could I like teach English in Japan? That sounds really cool to live in Japan, and I don't know what I want to do, so I'm gonna take some time off and do that." I ended up applying for a JET program and getting denied, and then I applied for her school as a backup, like a big English teaching school over there, and they hired me. And they gave me a date. They said, to come over. They said, buy a ticket and then come over on this day. Let us know your information. We're going to pick you up at the airport. This is your house. Then we're going to like give you training and all that. So they really hooked me up.
That's super awesome.
Not that I didn't pay for it.
Yeah.
And then it sucked working for them really bad. I found out. But
that's fine. That's how things are.
But I got over there.
Just
so in 2004, September 15th I left, and 16th I arrived, and I was like, oh, Japan, yay! I was super excited. I thought you could my only exposure had been the US. I'd never traveled outside the US. My family isn't really into that.
What a freaking jump.
Well, yeah, I guess I was kind of naive because I didn't really I didn't know how different it would be. Like I assumed that you would be able to find anime, everywhere, but other than that, it's not going to be that different. I thought English would be fine.
Yeah,
it'd be fine. And then I thought there would be Taco Bells on every corner, kind of like what I grew up in. I mean, once I moved out, that was like my main diet: Taco Bell, burritos all the time. And I moved to Japan, and they didn't have any Taco Bells.
That's kind of funny.
Unless you count the ones on the military base that I was not allowed on. So it was really big tease, and it was terrible.
Yeah, that sounds tough looking at that shit from the outside. Like, oh my God.
Yeah. I did all this research online, and I was like, where can I find a Taco Bell? I need a Taco Bell. Like, my life is not complete if I don't have a Taco Bell. What is wrong with these people? I
like how that was super duper important.
It was so important because you cannot just change your diet like that, right? So, I mean, I've done it now, but back then it was hard. I was young, and I was.
Were you also vegetarian then, or
no? I wasn't.
Oh, okay.
I was just boring. I was like the sad standard American diet.
Okay.
Which was mostly junk food.
Yeah, definitely.
So no Taco Bell, no refried beans that I could find. I mean, later I could find them, and now they have a Taco Bell. Now that I've left, there's Taco Bell. It's not on the base. It's probably in like Akihabara or something.
Yeah, thanks Japan.
Yeah, right. Thanks for waiting until I leave. Do you realize that I could have been going to this the whole time? I could have single-handedly supported a whole store. I'm telling you. Jeez. Well, whatever.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah.
Anyway, so you're in Japan, and like what made you get into, I know that's, that anime and manga was really part of your interest and everything. What got you to, actually creating manga?
Peer pressure.
Peer pressure.
Peer pressure.
Nice.
Well, I was having a great time. I was buying all the anime stuff, going broke,
nice.
Just continually spending my paychecks on anime stuff and on the musicals, the Prince of Tennis musicals, things like that. So it was really great. But I didn't think seriously about making it because I thought that nobody could. There wasn't really anybody's example to follow at that point.
Right.
So I just thought, I'll just figure out what I want. But a couple months in, one of my students at the school, it turned out she was an assistant manga artist.
Nice.
To Noda Shigeru.
Oh, okay.
And he does like businessman type comics. So I don't think any of his comics are out here in the US. But she's like, oh, well, I will take you to meet my sensei if you'd like. You can come to the studio. He can show you, how to make manga, things like that. So I was really nervous and really excited. And I went with another friend of mine, and he's super sweet and nice, and he gave us all this manga supplies and talked to us about the whole process, let us watch him and his assistant's drawing, and it was really cool. But I still even though she kept saying, you should do it, everybody will like it just because you're a foreigner. I didn't really, I wasn't sure about it.
Yeah.
I still felt like it was a very foreign process to me, and I didn't really know what I was doing. So I didn't really. And then she set us up with a meeting with one of the editors at Jump, and was like, bring some comics for him to look at. And I was like, but this is like tomorrow, and I don't have any comics. I'll just bring my sketchbooks. So that's all I brought. And we got to tour the Jump offices, and we got to like show him my artwork. But of course he said what anyone, says now, I don't want to see your art. I want to see your sequential art. I want to see your comics.
Oh, your storytelling. How you do
he
it.
wants to see how I can tell a story visually, not how well I can draw someone. He said I had good art, but he needed to see more.
Yeah.
That's why when people ask me now, I have all these character designs and I have a story idea. I'm going to take it to Shonen Jump or something. I'll say, no, really, you should think about it. Let them know what kind of story you can tell with art. You need to bring them preferably a whole finished chapter if you want them to seriously look at it. Don't bring them just a story, and don't bring them just like character designs or concept art. Bring them a whole story.
They want to make sure that you can hit the ground running kind of thing, right? Or you just have fundamentals in place or something like that.
It's not that. They want to see how you'd be able, like, if you would be a good manga artist, because he told me this, and it's very true. Being able to draw a great picture and tell a story with pictures are two completely different skills.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I've seen that before.
Yeah, we've all seen artists who tell like a shoddy story.
Right. Or if it's like,
that sucks.
It's beautiful pictures, but there's a disconnect.
Exactly.
It looks shitty.
Like they can draw the most gorgeous illustrations, but they can't tell a story. Like the story is boring or the story just doesn't really make sense.
Right.
That's the most common, right?
Yeah.
You see that a lot.
That's the one
comics.
I see a lot.
And I've actually seen the reverse in some manga where the art is kind of crappy.
Yeah, but I was like, this is a great story.
Exactly. Like the story rocks and the characters are fun and relatable, but the art is like sucks.
Oh yeah, it's like rough, and then I'm just like, well, I guess I'll get used to this, and I'll just keep reading it.
Yeah, or even when there's just something about it that's kind of nice, like Naoko Takeuchi does Sailor Moon, and she has very sketchy art style, and it's actually hard to tell what's going on, but her story is amazing, and she does get it across eventually. And I do think her art is absolutely gorgeous, but you can see the evolution as she drew even just Sailor Moon. When it was more sketchy to it's more refined in the end. It's better.
Nice.
Yeah. A lot of shonen manga or gag manga, they both have, a lot of them have really sketchy, like ugly art.
Yeah, like rough.
Yeah. Anyways,
little
back
boys,
to the story, right?
Yeah, back to the story. So
I went through those things, and eventually a friend of mine was like, let's make some doujinshi. And doujinshi are like fan-made comic books. They get them printed up over there. They're usually perfect bound, about 30 pages or so. Usually porny, but not always.
Right.
It's just basically a lot of fans take established characters and then they make these stories about them, draw all the art and everything, and then they sell them at conventions. Yeah,
I thought that was kind of neat. Like,
it is really cool. It's a very different culture that's over here, and it's kind of like how fan subs used to be and still are in some respects overlooked, given a kind of a pass by the anime industry. Fan subs not so much anymore, because most things you can get through legit means, and you absolutely should. But I guess a better example would be like obscure manga. Is around online through illegitimate means, and that's the only way you can read it in English for people who can't read Japanese.
Right.
So the license holders in Japan would overlook those kind of things for whatever reasons. They do it with doujinshi as well.
Yeah.
I've heard lots of explanations, lots of justifications, but I can't really speak to why.
Yeah.
Why not, whether it's good or not. But as a fan who has bought doujinshi, it's incredibly fun, and it's a great community of people that have grown up around this.
Yeah, I like how like it just means the fans are so into, like, that's how much they're into it already.
Oh, totally.
It's like, I'm gonna make my own thing. Let's do it.
Well, the thing is, most people lose money on their doujinshi because it's not cheap to print.
Yeah,
and then you have to go and sell it at a convention like Comic-Con or something smaller, which means you have to buy table space and transportation fees. Some people have hotel fees. I mean, there's everything to consider. They don't make any money unless you're a very kind of what would be a BNF over there, big name fan kind of thing. So
that's kind of nuts.
There are some people who make like over $1 million a year doing doujinshi, not even of their own characters.
Oh,
but
man,
that's not
I love you, Japan.
common.
That's great. That's nuts.
That's not common at all.
Like you telling me that is almost like telling me that, oh my God, there's like super famous slash fiction authors out there or something like that, or like
if you think about it, it's a little bit like 50 Shades of Grey. Because that's based off of fanfic, right? So she wrote this long fanfic and then changed the names and sold it as another book.
You're right. Good job.
And made millions off of it, right? So it's like that minus the changing the names part.
Definitely.
Making money kind of off of someone else's intellectual properties. Here they change the names. Over there they leave them in. And then that's everybody buys it anyway. It's self-published. You pay for the publishing yourself. You go through companies that specifically do this, and there are a bunch of them to choose from. So I guess that's just where they draw the line or something. I really can't say. I mean, I'm not in that. Yeah,
we're not. We don't know. We don't know that other half and everything.
Exactly.
So what gets you to actually start working for a mangaka and getting into the one that you did?
Right. So twice I did doujinshi. Once was my own. No, 3 times. Once was my own. Once was a compilation with a friend where I just submitted a few pages for hers. And then once was like a group effort kind of thing we arranged. That was the most fun, actually. It was okay, but I wasn't really ready. Like, I still felt like I didn't really know what I was doing. I didn't have my techniques right. I hadn't found my own voice yet. And that was a big thing holding me back. And I also wasn't really sure. I mean, I was really lost. But somebody on Anime News Network translated an announcement that said that Konomi Sensei was looking for assistance for a new project. Manga assistants, and beginners were okay, and there was no smoking allowed. So of course both of those apply to me. I was like, and I was a big fan of Prince of Tennis, his first or his biggest work. So I was like, sure. It said to apply, you should send in your CV resume with 2 specific pages from the manga, like recreate them as close as possible to the originals. Right. So I did. I was like, okay, it's summer break. I was a teacher and it was summer break, so I wasn't doing anything.
Wow.
Like
Perfect alignment.
I was doing nothing. Yeah. I had all the free time in the world. All I was doing every day was cooking and eating, exercising. Yeah. And occasionally going to events, and that was it. So I had a lot of free time at the time, so I went ahead and did it. I had a friend help me translate my resume, and I sent it in. And it was like a Thursday or something, and then Monday they called me back. Yeah. I was completely shocked and like freaked out because I have a lot lot of anxiety over the phone, and it was in Japanese. It was worse, and then like potentially speaking to like an idol of mine, that was even worse.
How was your Japanese at this point?
Not very good.
Okay.
Well, it was okay. It was well enough to get by, obviously, because I eventually did, but I had no confidence at all. I'd never taken a Japanese lesson. It was mostly just self-taught.
That's awesome. By immersion. That's how that works.
Yeah. I mean, I had been working in public elementary schools for a while at that point. I was teaching English to classes of like first graders and stuff. And, you hold up a flashcard with Apple on it and they're not going to say Apple. Yeah. They're going to say Ringo. Yeah. So I learned a lot. You know what the first words I learned?
What was it?
Wow, you're so tall. Because I'm 6'1".
Yeah, right.
Oh, man, the kids love that. Yeah, or like what's the other one? Oh no, it's like a ruder version.
Okay.
Deka. It's like, she's freaking tall. Like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, the little kids loved that. So I got a lot of crash course in elementary school Japanese from that.
So you're waiting for calls. You're getting your calls.
I wasn't waiting for calls. I was like, don't call me. I thought, okay, the most I can expect here, because obviously I'm not good enough. The most I can expect is to like serve them coffee or something.
All right.
Like, he's gonna call and be like, yeah, maybe like I just want to meet you because you're not Japanese and you're doing this thing that Japanese, like only Japanese people do. So at the time, and I didn't expect like to get a call. So I got a call from what would eventually become our editor. He was the editor for Konomi Sensei's new work, or what would be his new work, and Watanabe-san, and he called, and I didn't answer because I was scared. So he left a message, and then I listened to it, and I called my friend and was like, oh my god, what do I do? I was gonna call back, and then he called back again, and I didn't answer. And at that point, I practiced phrases with my friend to like
make sure you're right.
Say.
Yeah.
So he called. He eventually called, and I actually answered, heart racing.
Yeah.
Like sweating so bad, just completely freaked out of my mind. I mean, you have to understand, I'm super awkward in like social situations, and then this was just 10 times the added stress.
Yeah, because this is a job, and it's a hero, and it was like
it was like a legendary company, and like my kind of personal hero, since I loved Tenny Puri so much, the yaoi most of all. That doesn't make it any easier.
Yeah.
And it's in Japanese, and I have no confidence, so it's just crazy. But I answered and bumbled my way through the phone call. Got most of the details wrong, but he gave me he told me to come in on a certain day for an audition kind of a thing, like a test run. Yeah. And gave me the phone number of Sensei and said, you call him when you get to the station and he will come and pick you up. I can't say, like, I was like, you're seriously giving me the phone number of someone I completely idolize? Like, do you not understand how this could go wrong? This could go so wrong. You don't know me. You don't know what kind of person I am or how much of a crazy, crazy fan I am. Like, I could use this to stalk him, or I could put it on the internet.
You have his contact. Yeah.
I could do a lot with this, but of course I'm too freaking scared to do anything with it. But he doesn't know that. Yeah. So, but I guess it was worth taking the risk. So I did.
There's a lot of trust on that end. Yeah.
Yeah. I looked nice, and I brought some examples of artwork with me. I got on the train. I traveled over to the station I was supposed to go to, and I waited to the last possible second to call. So again, like this time I have to initiate the contact, and I know I'm calling someone that I'm completely in awe of. Calling a personal hero.
Yep.
Yeah. God, I don't know how.
Did they give you a time limit or something? Yeah.
I was supposed to be at the station and call at a certain time.
Oh, okay.
To have him pick me up. So I was just. If they hadn't given me a time, I would have come at like 11:59
right.
For sure. Yeah, it was really crazy. It's just, it was so nerve-wracking. Even just thinking back, I mean, that was one of the most courageous things I've ever done in my whole life. Which is weird, considering that I moved to Japan without a
exactly
thought.
Yes.
I'm like, bye.
I'm seeing a pattern here. Totally, you get your shit together and go.
I am great for like doing stupid things, and I'm great for taking leaps of faith, but I am not good when it comes to reaching out to people and talking to people. I get super nervous.
Oh, you mean like regular stuff?
Like just generic social interaction stuff. I'm really crappy at it.
It's all right.
So I guess I did okay. I made my way through it. I called him. He was super nice, and he came and picked me up in his car. He was very courteous.
Konomi Sensei totally like just personally came over, picked you up, and everything.
Nice. Yeah, he came, picked me up. The studio was in his house, so I was there at his house, and
that is awesome.
I got it wrong. See, I thought this was supposed to be like a 3-hour interview or something. It turns out it was 3 days. I yeah. When I got there and he was showing me like the assistant's bedroom and this can be your bed, and I'm all like, what? He's like, you can put your stuff here, and I'm like, you mean my purse? Yeah.
Nice.
I didn't have a toothbrush or contact solution or anything like that. Nothing. No clothes, no nothing.
That was some awesome 3 days. How was that?
Was crazy. Well, the other assistants showed up, and I was bumbling my way through everything and feeling really awkward being watched while I draw, while they just kind of do stuff. So the manga wasn't in production at the time.
Yeah.
And he just had me in there to kind of test my skills, and I think he wanted to see how I mesh with the other people.
Yeah, how you can handle it and how you be. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think I handled it pretty well, considering that I didn't know it would be 3 days. There was only one other girl assistant at the time, and she was super sweet. She'd been there like forever, through the old Tenny Parade series too. And she coaxed it out of me that I had no clue that we were staying overnight, especially not for a couple of days. And she told Sensei, and we all went to the store, and he handed me like $100 and was like, go buy stuff. I was like, oh my God, what?
That's super cool. Like, they're just like totally like, here, like, just get it handled. It's like trust and stuff. Here's some money.
He was super, super sweet about it. And he's like, I'm going to talk to Watanabe-san. I'm sure that he should have told you this. He should, and the whole time I'm thinking, well, I think it was probably me that got it wrong.
I didn't listen.
I
didn't catch it.
Yeah,
correctly. Definitely.
So, I mean, I'm sure they knew that too.
Yeah.
I'm sure they knew, because I was bumbling my way through talking to everyone. I was very nervous. And but that turned into a job. Nice. Yeah.
So what manga did it eventually turn into?
It was the sequel to Prince of Tennis, to my surprise and delight. So I was working on something I kind of idolized, and I had an instrumental part in designing a lot of the stuff, like the uniforms and some of the buildings, things like that.
That's super awesome. How long did you end up working?
I worked there for a year and a half.
Wow.
It wasn't actually that long, looking back at the whole lot, but at the time it felt like a long time.
It must have.
It was long enough for the awe to wear off and the indignation to set in. And that sounds really high of me, but I don't think most people would want to work under some of the conditions we were working under.
I imagine.
Sensei was super awesome. We got to do a lot of really neat things. We went to musicals, we went to concerts, we went to all kinds of stuff, and we're all backstage and all up in everyone's business, and had the kind of access a fan would dream of. Dream of.
It's fucking awesome.
Friends with people that I had been watching on stage for years before that. So I was over the moon with that stuff. I loved it. And I loved drawing the manga. I loved the work itself. But the environment became toxic for me after a while.
What was a big thing about it?
Well, it started out like we were doing a lot of work, and we were doing a lot of play too, but there wasn't so much downtime, so to speak. But it eventually grew to the point where Sensei was, I think he's a procrastinator. I mean, he wasn't around a lot of the time, and I think that's part of it. And we certainly share that trait. But I wanted to work. The way that worked was that there's my cat. Wow.
Where were you at?
Super loud.
It's all right.
So the way that work worked was that we were called in, or he would text all of us and say, I need you to be here at this day at this time. We're going to stay for this number of days. And so a week, for example, we would not come home at all. We would stay in the studio. Just bring a suitcase or bring a bag with change of clothes and stuff in it. And, we had our own bathroom, shower, et cetera, and we had all that arranged, and we ate in the studio. But, I mean, we could not leave. I couldn't go out to exercise at all. We worked morning till night. And he would give us like 8 hours of rest a night or so and we could do whatever we wanted, including sleep or stay up and do something else. But we couldn't really leave.
Such is a struggle of an assistant.
It was easy to tolerate at first, but over time that grew on me. And
I could see that drag.
Yeah, I still think I would be fine with it, except that we were called in for like, say, 3 weeks. Well, first off, sometimes it'd be like 3 days or a week, and then that would stretch to 2 weeks,
Mm.
like without notice. So I missed deliveries, I missed appointments, I had really bad tooth pain going on because I kept missing appointments. Like, it was terrible. That was one thing to deal with. But
That sounds crazy. It's
yeah.
kind of like, okay, I need you now, and then you need this block of time, and all of a sudden it gets longer, and you don't even know.
Make plans.
Yeah, exactly.
That was the big thing.
Sounds like it was very erratic.
It was very erratic. I couldn't have a social life. But I mean, then again, we'd have 1 or 2 weeks off at the end of every month, and that would be great.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't like that we would be called in and there would be no work for us to do. And sometimes, like, say we were there for 3 weeks with like 1 or 2 breaks in between.
Yeah.
We would be completely not working for the first 2.5, and then the last 4 days it would all be like shoved in there, which was fine. We would get the work done in the nick of time, sometimes cutting corners. And that's, I would be fine, but the first 2.5 weeks we did nothing, and we still had to be there. Like, I couldn't have a social life. I couldn't do anything. But we weren't paid daily. We were paid on salary.
Right.
So whatever he wanted us to work, we had to be there. And
sounds like that was kind of like pressure to get him to finish his story and stuff.
I don't know.
Or whatever.
I don't know if he had good intentions calling us in. Like, he's like, I'm going to do this and get this done, but then he doesn't. So I can completely understand that. That is something I deal with too.
I can see that too.
That procrastination. But it got very frustrating when it's just like there were 4 or 5 of us, depending on what time of the year it was, because we had assistants that would come in and out at times. And so the 4 or 5 of us would just sit there and like, what are we going to do? Do you think when we get up tomorrow, there will be something for us to do? Because sometimes Sensei would come in the middle of the night like a burglar, and like, not a burglar, but like this weird like elf or something. Like, he would come in after we're sleeping, and then in the morning there would be stuff on his desk for us to do.
Nice.
And with notes on it, post-it notes or whatever, like, draw this, do this background here, do this.
Like a freaking shoe elf. That's awesome.
But the funny thing, the worst thing was, that was very sporadic.
Yeah.
Like, we'd be there for 3 days and then we'd get 1 page. So, our head assistant, he would take charge. He would cut it up the page, literally, and hand pieces to us so we could all have something to work on. And then, by the end of the day, we're all done and bored again. And
wow.
I was like, I would just rather be at home and bored, at home and doing something.
Yeah, I could
be here, sitting here all day, 24/7, unable to go home, can't have a relationship, at least not easily, can't have pets, can't do anything. And I hated it. Like, it was frustrating, and everybody hated it, but nobody would speak up. And eventually I spoke up, got in trouble, and then said I would deal with it. And then at the end, that was what did me in. I could not deal with that kind of sitting around getting frustrated for days on end.
I would be all in my head, like, after a couple of days.
I was. Like, it was in the beginning, the awe and everything keeps you going. But then, after months or a year or more of doing it, you're kind of over it. You're kind of like, can't you just, and I said this to him, can't you just call us in when you have all the work done for us, or at least some of it? Yeah. And he didn't really like that. Yeah. That's a job. You have to agree to this if you want to stay. And, I mean, it speaks a lot to both of us. And I guess my own ability too, that after that, he still let me stay. Yeah. He didn't care too much that I was a little bit in Japanese standards, like come-uppity kind of. Yeah. And the other assistants kind of used me for that too. They're like, you're American, you can say it.
Yeah, you can say it. Yeah.
Get away with it. Yeah. So I did. And I was so frustrated. I was fine.
Yeah. I was like, well, that's all right. I'll say it.
Yeah. I was like, dude, this guy needs like a reality check here. But the thing is, I guess it was more on me. I got the reality check because he's the multimillionaire that made money off this. Yeah. He can do whatever the hell he wants. Right. But even after when I left, I talked to him about it. I didn't just leave. I was very tearful, and it was really emotional for me. But I told him I just was having a hard time with this. And should I go?
Uh-huh.
Should I not be in this anymore? What do you think I should do? And he thought that it was the best for me if I left. And months later, he threw me a going away party after I'd been gone for months. He got around to see the
yeah.
the
There's a pattern. Definitely.
He threw me a big old going away party. It was super fun. And then a couple months after that, he asked me to come help him on this one shot manga he was doing.
Right.
So I came back to the place I thought I'd never see again and saw everyone there. We worked on it. Remembered why I hated it, but at least that time we were busy the whole time because he had super procrastinated. Called me in at the last minute, like I super need your help.
Yeah.
Came in.
One last job.
Yeah. This one, it was a one shot, and the editor was kind of mad. Like the editor was really getting mad at the end because we were very behind. This was not the assistant's fault at all. Yeah. This was definitely Sensei's.
Yeah, it was like, I need you to get this done for me.
He was not getting things done. The editor was taking individual pages. We were off in Chiba, so you're like talking 1 to 2 hours to get into the main city, like where the publishing building is. Yeah. So he was taking individual pages by cab to the publishing house.
Freaking expensive.
He would go, then come back an hour or two later, and grab another. He'd be like, "Do you have anything? Give me everything you've done in this little short time." And he was running it back and forth. He was threatening with like money fees because if an artist doesn't have anything, then they have to figure out what to do at the last minute. It's going to cost them a lot of money. Yeah, some penalties. Yeah, he was talking to Sensei about that. But get this, we were so behind because he procrastinated so long that we just we were so behind, and so the editor left at one point on one of the runs, and Sensei just leans back and he's like, safe. He left the whole room, went upstairs, did not come back for an hour. The editor comes back. He has not been working this whole time. Nothing got done this whole time. And he's like super on our case. And we're like, dude, we can't do anything. Where's Sensei? We don't know. You know? I mean,
he fucked up for a while. So.
We didn't say anything because nobody wants to bad talk him in front of the editors. Like, dude, we're waiting on you. Yeah. And you're like going up and taking a bubble bath or something. I don't know what's going on, but oh my gosh!
That's such a great visual. Safe.
He literally leaned back in his chair and was like, "Oh yeah, I'm okay now." And we're like, "No, you're not." In our heads, right? I'm sure everybody was thinking the same thing as me.
I had them fake ones at work sometimes. Like, I'm good. Like at least 5 minutes.
Is gone.
Yeah, boss is gone. I got at least 5 minutes. I'm good.
Yeah, but he took like a whole freaking hour or something. And
I can't believe
anything.
You know, and that's your boss.
Yeah,
you know?
And then this guy's biting down his neck, and we are hearing this. You know, he's getting scolded. And I mean, this is a big author, so you know that it's pretty serious when they're scolding a big time like breadwinner for the company. Right. They're like, dude, you need to step it up. And, you know, the sad part was in the end, we had like 3 pages or so that we just there was no more time. Yeah, like there was no more time. It was deadline over deadline, last second. Yeah, completely stretched as far as it could go. So he had us photocopy older pages in there, like background, erase the people, and he would draw in new people on top of that.
Oh fuck yeah!
And like awesome. There were plenty of like throwaway panels where it's just a word bubble on a blank or reusing something old.
Oh, I like that. The blank space makes it like look artistic and shit.
The last 3 pages had nothing original on it at all. And the story was interesting. It was pretty good, but oh my gosh, like seriously. This is why I left. Sort of. I mean, why I left wasn't because you were late. It was because you were a freaking procrastinator. I don't care if you're a procrastinator. I will come in and work for 4 days as hard as I can. I will stay up for 4 days and finish the manga with everyone else. I'm willing to do that. I just don't want to be there for the 20 days before that where I ain't doing nothing. Yeah. Give me a predictable life and I'm good. I don't even care if it's predictable because it was a good enough job and we were getting paid sort of okay. Okay, cool. But it was I did not like the downtime. I did not want 20 days of downtime for 4 days of production. Just let me be here for the 4 days of production and that's it. I would be fine with that. Yeah, right. But I don't want all the down. Oh God, it was so frustrating. What made you, so from Japan, what made you want to, what's your next step after that? Come back? It was cold there all the time, and like there's no insulation in the houses, so it was pretty uncomfortable for me. I'm really like cold-blooded or something, or warm-blooded, so I can't really like. I was just cold all the time. I couldn't regulate my body temperature, and I was like, I hate this. I'm gonna move to Hawaii, and then I don't have to deal with the visa. So I did.
Just like that.
I had 2 other jobs too that I was doing in tandem with this, so it was also like a juggling race. And after I left Sensei, I kept up with the other 2 jobs, and one was like a TV show, and the other was writing a column for one of the papers there. So I kept those up, and they were renewed every year. But eventually, both at the same time, the papers and the climate was kind of changing.
Oh, okay.
Like, in terms of news, and they were going in new directions. So they both dropped me.
Wow.
Dropped my programs. So, or they didn't renew.
Right.
I guess is the technical way. They said, okay, we're not being renewed next year. Thank you for your hard work. So I thought, oh, well, they're both ending now. So either I look for another job, and getting those kind of jobs is not easy. And I was approached to do those jobs. I wasn't searching them out before. So it's hard to search them out. Even with their help, there just wasn't much there. So I decided to leave. I decided that was kind of my signal. Like I was looking, I was waiting for a sign, and that was it.
Yeah, I mean, I like that. So that's the pattern I see.
Yeah,
like I'm checking in this story so far.
Yeah, like it just opens up and happens that way. And like, okay,
like, well,
sure,
this is what I thought I was gonna do, so let's go.
Yeah, I thought, hey, I'm gonna go to Hawaii now. So I stayed with my mom for a little bit, and I was really kind of burnt out at that point. Stayed her, but she didn't make it any better. So you know, I had to stay and get my cat stuff done. Cat Hawaiian import regulations.
That whole that whole thing.
Strict,
right? Yeah,
so
I know.
I did all that, and then came over here.
Nice.
Yeah.
So what is it that you? I mean, that's a big thing that I'm seeing so far. Every time, just I know when I told you kind of like the theme of the show and everything like that, we're like, oh, what if you don't got your shit together?
Yeah, I don't.
Oh, come on. I mean, like this whole time throughout this conversation, like every step of the way, I'm like seeing that same thing where it's like, you really do get it, and when you really need to get it done, you know you.
Oh yeah. I'm fine with working hard. Like I get really passionate and really into things, but I guess I'm the kind of person that's just followed the opportunities as they present themselves. So I don't know. I feel like I haven't taken charge of my own fame, visibility, whatever you call it. Like I need to figure that out because I do not have my stuff together at all.
It seems like that's part of your control kind of issue because you're not in control of this one.
I'm not.
Pretty much everything I've seen so far. I mean, we've talked about so far was maybe like being aware and just taking advantage or taking the opportunity that came up.
It was like I chose to do those things, but I didn't choose. Well, like they were offered to me, and in the assistant job in the manga case, I worked hard to get it with the audition, and I worked hard at all the jobs, and they were all very new things to me. I'd never done any of those things before.
Right.
But
that's such a great step.
Yeah. So I worked hard at them while I had them.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I just kind of took the opportunities when they came. I wasn't afraid to take like a leap of faith or just try something new and see how it works out. And that's kind of how I've always been. Like I moved to Japan and she's like, yeah. And you know, I moved here and I'm like, wee. But then when it came time to search out things on my own, look for opportunities
and make it happen,
I fail really bad at that. I'm not good at that at all. I need like an agent who does these things for me.
Right, you need to sub that out.
I actually had one, and then she kind of flaked out on me.
Shucks.
So I've been kind of drifting since then, and now I'm like, what do I do with myself? I need money and work.
You hear that, agents out there? We're looking for
bring it on.
Looking for somebody who can, you know, work for commission and be awesome at, you know, getting our girl out here.
I'll make you tons of money.
You heard it. She can work hard. So
yeah, totally. I'm definitely into that. I want to be able to pour passion into a project. I've been trying to do it on my own, but I feel like I kind of lack that. I don't know. Push. Like I don't know.
Is it like the initial drive is there and then there's no continue on, or is it like
I wonder if I sabotage myself sometimes.
Maybe we all do that.
There's some things I want to do, but then I don't. And while I'm not doing them, I'm thinking about how I should be doing them.
Yeah.
If I want to go anywhere with myself, but then I don't. I really don't know, because I have friends who were very good at self-promoting and they're all on it, but I just can't seem to do that. I don't know what is wrong with me.
What's the vision look like when Jamie has all her shit together?
Like, I'm making tons of money and I have a publishing empire with manga everywhere. Like, I have so much of my own out there, and they're all being made into giant movies with special effects. And I have my own manga phone book magazine, and it's got like all these undiscovered artists that I helped nurture and grow. And it's doing very well, and hopefully I have changed the face of at least American publishing standards by making sure every housewife reads it, every kid reads manga, every like grown-up businessman reads manga. That's the goal. God
damn, I would love to see that. That would be great.
Do you know anyone who wants to invest in that? I have been working on that with a partner of mine for a little while now. We actually just started. We've been seeking out artists, and we're going to be looking for funding soon. So,
all right.
Yeah, because we cannot. We've been crunching numbers, and there's no way. We need a bigger company to back us.
So we can make it a little more economical and everything like that. Right?
Not that, it's just it takes a lot of money
to make it work.
To change the world.
Got it. It's fine. That's fine.
But I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I wish I did. I just want to be happy right now. Happier.
So what do you got going on right now then?
I'm working on my comic right now, my own comic. I've been doing
I've seen the previews come out and everything like that, right?
Yeah, it's a pet project. I've also been working on some illustrations for other clients and people, and just kind of trying to sort of develop my brand in the background. Yeah, but again, I'm not very good. I think I need to involve like agents or managers or something.
Definitely, I'll make sure you get plugged on this one.
Yeah, well, it'd be nice if I could, if high-paying clients were a steady thing.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, like I did good work for Disney Freeform, ABC Freeform.
Wow.
TV
Okay.
channel recently. That was the last big thing I did. I think so. Anything, if anybody wants to come by, I'm more than willing to draw you amazing illustrations for a price. Nah.
Definitely get some commissions out there.
I need to promote myself better. I really do. But it's so hard for people who are socially awkward. I don't know what I'm doing.
Maybe, I don't know. I wonder about that one, because you're really good at just jumping at it.
I am. Yeah. And then, like, if anybody throws me an opportunity, I will be like, yeah, I'll do it.
Maybe you get that feeling where you're jumping at it, but it's like regular shit or something. Maybe you jump at it and it's like promoting, or
if it's there, I will.
Like a transform. Yeah.
For sure. Like, I could do a great job at a lot of things. Yeah. I'm I don't know what you call it, like a go-getter, but I don't seek. I don't know. I'm bad at seeking it out.
Right.
I'm bad at seeking it out, but once I have the opportunity, then I can run with it, like the wind. Like, I'm really good at that.
So it's like you're good when it's when it's going.
I'm
so
great at crunch time.
Yeah.
I'm great like in process. But I have to have a clear goal and clear people paying me for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably a motive. You know what? Money is probably the motivator. Like, I live off of passion, but I want money.
Yeah. We need to make a way to. We need to find a way to get your passion. You have passion enough so you can get in with the grind.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know. I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out myself. So I've been through a lot, and it says something when you've been through so much, so many different situations, and you still kind of don't know what you want to do with yourself. Like, you have ideas, but you don't have the means necessarily to just jump for it yet. So I don't know.
Is the commitment there to like do thing, just to jump into something, or and then it's just like the resources don't come from it, or
I guess the resources are lacking in some cases, and it's usually like money or personnel resources. Like, I'm just one person.
Yes, there's only so much I can do,
and
here.
I'm not rich, so there isn't much I can do sometimes. Like the manga magazine idea, for example, I'm working on with someone. I mean, we're working on it for free. in the hopes that eventually we can find, once we have everything put together, then we can find the investors to pay for it. But of course, if we're going to have to pay other artists that we want involved out of our own pocket, unless again, we find someone willing to back that.
Yeah, or come in, or a bunch of artists that come in for free, probably Kickstarter that shit or something like that. I don't know.
As an artist, I want to pay people up front. I really do.
Definitely.
I don't want them working on spec work.
I know that.
I think,
I know how it feels.
This is my idea, and it can. This is my project, and it can benefit them too by giving them a paying job later. But I don't want them to work even just spec work for free. I want to pay them fairly. Yeah. Plus, when you have everything going and it's back, then you can kind of draw in and attract. Well, my idea is, you get a page of comic plus a page, or 2 pages of comic plus a page talking about like the story idea plus the character outlines and stuff. So you pay for 3 pages from them.
Okay.
That way, we can put this all into a packet with our artists and our, we'll do all the design work. Me and Kelsey, the girl I'm working with, we'll do all the design work for now, and once we are able to have this materials here that we've put together and paid for, then we can take it to backers, we can take it to potential investors, or even possibly companies that might be willing to adopt this in as one of their properties.
Right.
Like they can own the magazine and we would be, we're in it, do work with it as our own project. But so they either develop it with us, or we can look for investors that will have obviously a return on investment.
That's super awesome.
Date. And then from that investment coming from the people that actually have money and resources, then we can, pay these artists upfront to create entire chapters.
Yeah,
and an entire magazine.
And they have, they have the flexibility within the magazine to tell whatever stories they
Well, that's the thing. If we do this, or when we do this, I suppose.
Yep.
I'm very insistent that this is going to be professional quality, like Japanese level. Like I do not want people just telling whatever stories they want. Now, of course, yes, I want the passion of that there, and I want them to tell stories that they love. But I want to have editors with us that function like the editors do in Japan. They tell you what is good and what is bad.
Right.
They help you develop this from a story that's just good into something that is freaking amazing.
Damn, that's cool.
Yeah. Like I will admit, when we publish on our own, we don't have the benefit necessarily of someone with experience editing who knows what sells and what doesn't.
Yeah.
No, nobody wants someone to tell them what to do, but a good editor would be able to give you suggestions.
Right.
Give you advice,
and a good editor can work it out and actually see it too.
Yeah. It can convince you that this way is right, or can open a dialogue with you so both of you come to a conclusion that's satisfactory to everyone, and that most importantly will still sell. So I don't want necessarily like some other companies have done in the past. I know a lot of, for example, the OEL manga from Tokyo Pop that kind of flopped. Some of it was pretty good, and some of it was not.
Shit, and that's all backed by that's Tokyo Pop too. We're talking about.
Yeah, so. I mean, they were a company that had enough money to do what they wanted at the time. And that was great. I think it actually opened a lot of doors, and some of the artists there have gone on to become very successful. They did an amazing thing. Eventually it failed though. And I mean, even magazines like Shonen Jump and stuff can't stay in print here. There just isn't the support that they need in terms of people buying the magazine.
Man, we got to find a way to...
Well, we want to do that, and me and Kelsey, and this is that's part of our goal and our dream.
I love that. This is great vision shit right here. This is some awesome hot stuff.
Yeah, but to do that, you need more than just us. I mean, I have experience, and I do have a lot of people that I know in the different branches of the manga industry, and that's great. But you need more than that. She has marketing experience, which is something I lack, which makes us a great pair. But we need people who really know what's good and what's not. And we need people who can direct these artists, who can help the artists create stories where they will appeal to people who didn't read manga in the first place. We want to create an entire new part of society that reads this stuff that didn't already read it.
Yeah, like there's a paradigm shift in the attitude of like society.
Yeah,
That's so
exactly.
awesome.
Well, in Japan, it was a given that everybody's read manga at some point in their life, and many people do read types of manga regardless of what has happened to them in their life.
Right.
So a lot of people grow up and still read Shonen Jump when it's aimed at teenage boys or younger.
Yeah.
But they read it as adults, or housewives read it.
Right.
I would read it. I still read stories out of there. And not just that, but they also have whole magazines and whole publishing companies aimed at only stories for, say, businessmen.
Yeah.
Like Drops of Wine is a great example. It's a what they call seinen.
Okay.
Like older adult male, 20s and up, story about wine tasting. This guy who's amazing at it and searching for like the ultimate bottle of wine or the ultimate whatever.
God, that's what I love about manga. Shit.
There's such variety.
Yes.
We have all the way down to like Pokemon and
Right.
Digimon for the kids.
Yes.
And we have some of that here, but the whole thing is that over there they have the readership to support that.
Yes.
Now, here we don't.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very niche product when something like that comes out.
Right.
So I mean, how do you get that? How do you go from a small group of people reading it, not even 1% of the U.S.
Yeah.
How do you go to getting it in front of 90% of people?
To make it that mainstream, or that like it's like automatic already. Like,
how do you change society so that somebody asks the president of the United States in an interview?
Easily.
What's your favorite manga?
Yeah.
How do you go there? I mean, I feel like even this thing, I mean, it is very high probability that it might fail.
Mm-hmm.
It could be just a big old money pit and it's never going to go anywhere. But I feel like if this magazine doesn't succeed, another one will eventually pop up, and then another one until one of them finally does. Or, I mean, maybe it could go the right way. But I think, and in order to make that a possibility, we need the money to hire the people who are good, who are really, really good. We need to search them out, recruit them, pay them money, like pay them a good salary, pay them enough to be able to focus on this and really be passionate about it.
It's awesome. It's holy jeez. This is great. It's like real big vision work for real. It
feels like a pipe dream because really I don't have the money for something. That's all right. Like that. I mean, we're talking tens of thousands of dollars, if not hundreds of thousands.
Like we're not just talking about a company. We're talking about an industry. We're talking about how society like looks at things. Yeah, and that's pretty nuts. I mean, because that's awesome. Because for me, it sounds so freaking big that it's like, that's how amazing dreams start, because it's bigger than what you can see yourself. So you need to kind of get everybody bought in and everything. So
maybe I should go on Shark Tank.
Maybe that would be awesome.
There, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I know Kickstarter's around, and we have thought of that. It may work. We'll probably. I think our idea right now is we have to get together the small funds.
Yeah.
Small-ish funds, maybe $5,000 or less.
Yeah.
And just enough to pay the artists to get ourselves in working for free. This is our project.
Yeah.
We're working for free.
Yeah.
So create an example.
Yeah.
A short example with artists we have handpicked and worked with. Of great stories, and put together like a mini preview magazine.
Right.
And then from there, we need to use that to search for the big guns.
Yeah.
The
definitely.
investors, the people who allow us to have the clout and the money to hire people that can really make this work.
Yeah, because what you need is that other end. You need that those editors, those all that other stuff.
I know a number of people who I would consider to work on this, because I know some people who are very passionate and do work in the anime industry or connected industries, or did work, who are very passionate and could really bring good skills to the table.
That's awesome. I like that. You can see where the people are. It's just you need that funding. It sounds like that's kind of where it's at.
I want the funding to find the people that I don't know about yet.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking going on LinkedIn or something and just looking people up. I want to go and schmooze the crap out of these people until they agree to come and share in our vision.
Yeah.
Well, not just share, but get paid.
Yeah. and get in on this.
To take a risk on a job that will hopefully pan out into something great, but may not. And that's where the convincing is going to have to come.
Oh, yeah. Long term.
You know, if you're talking to really pragmatic people, they may not want to
because they're looking at
a startup.
Yeah, I'm looking at rent next week or something. It's like...
Yeah. And I mean, I'm glad, you know, definitely would want to pay people fairly. But, I mean, who knows if the job will be around in a year.
Shit, I'm excited. I want to see what you guys get.
Yeah. So if you can help us find funding, then definitely. We're definitely going to be looking at multiple avenues, whichever, you know, if we cannot find a company willing to take a risk on this and willing to invest it in, that has the connections and the money, and the expertise, but also it's not too much of a, this is going to fail, because I have been told that, and I'm talking about big companies already. Yeah. Just when I was talking about it as a pipe dream 2 years ago, I was, you know, tweeted and told that this is not really viable. X failed and this failed and this failed.
So,
yeah, that's what I said. I said so. Maybe the time wasn't right. The material wasn't right. Whatever it was did not work. So I want to try again. I want to bring something new to the table, and I want to see if this is going to work. I think it has a possibility. There is a possibility. There are so many millions of untapped readers out there. We have to get it in front of them, but to get it in front of them is going to require a massive investment. Luckily, we have social media on our side, but I do not think that you can rely on that. I mean, I think it helps. Yeah,
it helps. I think it's part of the constant exposure that everybody needs to kind of get in, and you know, this is good stuff. I mean, this is normal stuff, not like, oh, it's just from Japan or whatever.
Yeah, I guess with recent politics, we've seen that social media can actually be quite effective.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Just, you know, not with taking out ads, but just word of mouth, like people sharing things can be quite effective. But of course, you have to have the content to back that up. You have to have people believing in you enough to tweet and reblog and repost on their Facebook.
Right. You want the result to show, to kind of go with the drive, go with the passion, go with the it makes.
I want whatever we put out there as marketing material, essentially, examples to be so great that people want to share it.
Yeah.
Like we need that kind of support, and we need people dragging their moms to the supermarket to buy these things.
Yeah, awesome. And have them in the supermarket, you know.
Yeah, we do. That's actually a goal. Were we able to actually do this whole print endeavor, which is incredibly expensive? I wanted to put, you know, I want them to be at the supermarket checkout. I want them to be in the convenience stores. I want to be in all those newsstands, like right by the freaking rack, in New York and LA, and all those places where people are stuck on public transit for a long time. That's a great time to read.
Perfect time to go.
You know, if we can get it at a decent price point where you're like, hey, $5, that's okay.
Yeah.
You know, whatever, $5.
Yeah.
$5 for some great entertainment.
Yeah, $5 for a coffee is the same thing. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. If we can get it in front of people, in places that manga fans do not usually go. Yeah. In addition to like bookstores and comic book shops.
Yeah.
Then there is possibility. If the content is there, the timing is right, the money is there. And, you know, if things work out correctly, it could succeed, and we could have something. There's a lot of ifs, though, I will admit.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it sounds like, it does sound, it sounds freaking grand. I love it. It's a great.
It's super grand, and it's super expensive because it's so grand.
Yeah, that's fine. You just got to get more money for it right now.
That's gonna be the hard one, I think, is figuring that part out. So two people can't do it alone. Definitely not.
Definitely. This is something greater than,
this is a whole company.
Yeah, this is a whole company, and this is an industry, and this is like a, a sea change or something like that. If I had to use like fucking words and stuff.
We've talked about going online and doing only digital, but that is being done. And there are companies that are succeeding both decently and somewhat modestly at it, and there are companies failing at that as well. But that's great, and I think that's wonderful, and I read those things. I love them. They're doing great quality content, but I personally would think it's so awesome to have it in the stores, and I want to see it there, and that's my dream.
That's super cool.
I also feel like we cannot reach these new audience people. We cannot reach the future noobs. your mom and your grandpa and the guys downtown. We cannot reach these people without putting it into a place that they go.
Yep. Yeah. Have it for everyone to see. In fact, probably like multiple formats and everything like that, just to like get everybody
there would
out.
probably be an online version as well. I mean, it would be stupid not to.
Yep,
in
definitely.
In this time, but I want to put physical copies in places where people who do not read manga go.
That is super awesome.
Yeah, everywhere, and billboards in Times Square and everything.
Yeah.
In Japan, they have billboards in Shibuya for anime and manga, and they have billboards in Tokyo Station for this stuff, and that stuff costs a lot of money.
Yeah.
I want to see that. I want to see the industry grow to a point, and it is a risk and it is a big investment, but if it paid off, our company or whatever company is backing us is not the only one that's going to benefit.
Oh yeah, then it brings up a whole new industry.
Benefit. And the comics industry itself, yes.
Oh, definitely the comics industry would. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and it's true, they do have comics in supermarkets and stuff. I bought them growing up, but I don't know. It's just a big dream, and I want to see it happen. I want to see more people reading manga, and that's the bottom line. I want to see everybody reading manga outside of Japan.
Yeah, I want to see them down for this. Yeah, it sounds awesome.
I want my mom to call me up and be like, "Oh my God, did you read the new episode of Lilies on the Prairie or something?" She's like so into it. I want manga that she would like, and I want manga that my dad would like, and I want manga that the stoner downtown wants to read.
Of course,
and I want manga that the famous politician wants to read. I want manga that everybody likes. Yeah.
Wow. I love that vision. That's great.
It's a big one. Yeah, we're working for it. I mean, wish us luck.
Yeah, definitely.
We need more than luck, but that's one component.
I think we can leave it on that for now and see if there's any, this sounds, this is a great, this is a great out. I like this, I like this vision,
This is a dream right now.
Yeah.
It's not a reality yet.
No, yeah,
so
that's
fine.
fine.
We can really talk about it until it becomes a reality.
Yeah, definitely. Anything you want to plug? Like, that's out right now. You want anybody hearing?
My comic, go buy my comic. You can support that indirectly because money from that will be going towards producing the original prototypes for this too.
Where's that at?
JamieIsm.com, JAMIEISM.com.
Awesome.
So that's my first comic. You can also buy my book, which is like my memoir of my time in Japan.
Oh yeah, more of those stories. Those are awesome.
Yeah, all the stories I told you, most of them are in there in a lot greater detail, and there's a lot more.
Awesome.
There's a lot more. It's pretty long. And just read my blog too. I've talked about it a little bit on my blog, not that much. But it's there, and there's a lot of other junk on there that you might want to read. A Facebook page, all that stuff. All of that is connected through my JamieIsm.com.
Awesome, fantastic. I'll make sure I put the links in when I put this shit up. That'd be awesome.
Go read it, because if anything else, you'll laugh. Be like, you can laugh at me. That's totally fine. I'm fine. If
it's
you're
all right.
Oh my
That's
God,
what it's about.
What's this girl thinking?
Yeah.
She is nothing. She is nobody. She's never going to be able to pull this off. But that's what they said about me becoming an assistant too. So that's what I said.
Yeah.
But I did it.
Yeah.
So hey, you never know until you try.
Exactly. That's so great.
It's not like I've never regretted anything. Trust me, I have. But I feel like you got to give it a shot. If you believe in it, you really have to give it a shot.
I love that. Thanks, Jamie. Thanks for speaking with us, and
anytime.
Thanks for being on GYST.
Have me back anytime.
Yeah, we'll do. Thanks. Be good.
Yeah.
All right.
Good.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
All right.
Thanks, Jason.
Thanks. Okay, so that was Jamie Lynn Lano. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you would love to get more information on her, buy her book, see her works, you can visit her website at jamieism.com. That is JAMIEISM.com. You'll find her blog, find her book. It's called Princess of Tennis. And I think you can check out some of her artwork as well. Give it a perusal. Give it a look-see. See what you like. And let me know. And speaking, if you let me know, if you want to get feedback for the show, you want to get in touch with me, you want to talk to You want to give some love, give some hate, give some more love. Or, whatever is on your mind. Give me thoughts, give me feedback. The email for the show is HYGYST.com. That is HYGYST at Gmail. Oh, yeah, HYGYST@gmail.com. So, yeah, get me back on the Gmails. Get me back on this thing. Hit me up. Let's get things going. And you know what, man? I just want everyone to kick ass at life.